This is the MG Cyberster, the only two-seater, all-electric sports car on the market today. And it looks fire.
The best thing about it though is that this is an all-electric two-door convertible that actually exists. And that is easier said than done. In 2017, Elon Musk promised us this, the ultimate two-door EV sports car, the new Tesla Roadster. And understandably, people were all in. They stuck down a 50 grand deposit and waited. And what did they get? Nothing.
Classic. But here's an idea. If you're fed up with waiting for Musky Boy to deliver the Roadster, why don't you get your 50 grand back and sink it into one of these instead?
It's not the Roadster, but it is an EV drop top that actually exists. Sleek, sporty, and built by a company with a rich heritage in making exactly this kind of thing. Sort of. It's got all the right ingredients.
Most importantly, the Cyberster has the kind of doors that let you turn flexing into a fine art. You can even flex remotely using the key. How cool is that? Also, the rest of the car is littered with really cool design. This bonnet is massively long, hinting at an engine underneath. There isn't one, it's fully electric. These lights are nice and intricately designed. We've also got functional vents here and also a kind of diffuser element just sitting on the front edges. At the side, meanwhile, this thing is riding on 20-inch wheels with Pirelli P0 rubber, 245/40 at the front and 275/35s at the back. And look at the wheel design. That is lovely. Plus, Brembo brakes. At the back of the car, meanwhile, bit of a mixed bag really. I do like this deck, that looks good. Love this diffuser down here, very sporty looking. Really nice full width light bar that goes up and then down again. And then there are these giant arrows on either side. It's like the designer took great pride in sculpting every minute element of this car and then let his 4-year-old kid do that bit. Nah.
You get the sense that MG's designers didn't take themselves too seriously. They let their hair down, undid their top buttons, well, turtlenecks, and brought us something unique, in the electric car world at least.
They've definitely copied the F-Type though. I mean, look at it. Look at the way that the passenger and the driver compartments are segregated into different areas with a grab handle in the middle. I'm not mad at it though, because it's actually really well put together and surprisingly nice to look at in here. You know the best bit though? These cup holders which go up and down. That's very cool. I'll demonstrate with my Autotrader bottle. Look at that, they're up and then now they're down. It's a simple thing, but it just looks really cool and works really well. I've also got a little section here, the perfect size for an iPhone 16 Pro Max. Very nice.
What's less nice is that it's a screen fest in here. The Cyberster has no fewer than 4 displays, one central portrait screen with 3 others wrapped around the driver. Sounds great if you could actually see them.
These 2 screens are basically useless because they're permanently obstructed by the steering wheel. So the only way to fix that is to move the screens or to make a transparent steering wheel.
And if you do have X-ray vision and can see the screens, you'll discover they're a bit questionable.
On this screen, on the right-hand side, I can call up crucial information like the weather. I don't need to know what the weather's doing on the screen, mate. I'm in a convertible. The weather's literally happening to me right now. Or I can book in a test drive of an MG at my nearest MG dealership. MG, I don't need to test drive an MG. I'm already in an MG. You've already MG'd me.
Other downsides. No wireless Apple CarPlay, it's via USB only. The bonnet release has a picture of something that is definitely not a Roadster. And there's no front trunk, just a sea of plastic with gaps above the suspension that allow mud and muck and grime underneath the bonnet.
Still, it's a much nicer place to sit than the new Tesla Roadster, mainly because this exists and that doesn't. Okay, enough talking, let's go for a drive.
The Cyberster comes in 2 flavors. There's the entry-level trophy model, which gets a single 340 PS motor driving the rear wheels, fed by a 77 kWh battery for an official range of 316 miles. The faster GT version gets a second motor on the front axles, which means it's all-wheel drive, and that has a power output of 510 PS.
Obviously, this is the fast one, and it is fast. MG reckon it can go from 0 to 62 in just over 3 seconds. So why don't we see what that feels like? Okay, launch mode, brake hard, accelerate. There's a little rocket there. Let's go. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh. Okay, I would describe that acceleration as not very MG-like. That's more AMG. Jesus.
Top speed stands at a presumably limited 125 miles an hour. And you might point out that these figures aren't a patch on the new Tesla Roadster, which according to Elon will hit 60 in 1 second and top out at over 250 miles an hour.
To which I say, do it. Go on, put your money where your mouth is. You got plenty of both. Show me, prove it. I'm waiting. Here's something else that's quick about the Cyberster, the roof. It deploys at speeds of up to 30 miles an hour. And trust me, it is rapid. Get ready to have your mind blown. Check this out. Yeah, I might have oversold that actually. Yeah, there's plenty of faster roofs out there, including the Aston Martin Vantage. But still, pretty nippy.
With its 500 horsepower and its Lambo doors, you might assume the Cyberster is a furious sports thing. Its suspension as firm as a gym bro's handshake.
But actually, you'd be wrong, because in the corners, and here it comes on right now, the Cyberster is surprisingly squishy. It's not roly-poly, but it's not a hardcore bruiser that stays flat regardless of what the road is doing. Here's another corner, I'll chuck it in, and it just kind of squats down, leans into the bend, and then you can catapult out the other side. Don't get me wrong, the body control is really good. The car feels so composed in the corners, but it doesn't feel like a car that's designed to beat you up at all costs just to make it through a bend. That is really quite pleasant. It's composed, that's what it is. What lets the Cyberster down a bit though are the seats, which are frankly not very good. They're a bit of a deal breaker if you ask me, because the first thing that's problematic is how high up you sit. It's an all-electric car, which means the batteries are mounted low down in the chassis and the seats are mounted on top of the batteries, which means the seats aren't quite as low down as you'd get in a petrol-powered sports car. And it really shows. You feel like you're sitting on top of the car rather than low down inside it and feeling like you're a part of the machine. They're not very soft either, these seats, so it's quite uncomfortable to drive and also not very adjustable, which means that it's hard to get the right driving position. If you're very tall, your head often ends up touching the roof. So if you're more than about 6 foot, yeah, think twice about getting one of these. Apart from that though, it drives super nice. The acceleration is lovely. In a lot of EVs, quick ones anyway, you accelerate and it just snaps your neck off. This is slightly different. It's got quite a progressive build up to the acceleration, so you don't feel like you're turning a light switch on and off when it comes to performance. It's slightly reminiscent of driving a petrol car because there is that little bit of a build up to the acceleration. It feels more natural than I expected. That's lovely. And then in the corners, it is heavy, but it manages its weight really well. And it's very rewarding to push on in the corners because you know the car is actually capable of holding its line. And then when you get on the power, there's bags of it, my friend. Yes, this is a good, solid laugh. That's the acid test, isn't it? Is it fun to drive? The Cyberster, big fun, trust me.
Maybe we shouldn't be surprised, because before they were swallowed up by a Chinese megacorp and started making sensible EVs, way back in the day, MG were all about real-world sports cars, stuff like the MG-F and TF. And before that, the MG-B, straight up two-seat roadsters made for the road, not for the racetrack. And one of their most popular cars was the MG Midget. First seen in 1961, this snack-sized sports car remained in production for nearly 2 decades, introducing generations of British drivers to the joy of top-down, cheap thrills motoring. And that's exactly the MG heritage the new Cyberster is trying to channel.
Apart from the fact it's got 2 seats, a folding roof and 4 wheels, I will admit, you might struggle to really see the similarities between a Midget and a Cyberster. The Midget won't do 0 to 62 in 3 seconds. More like 3 days. 500 horsepower? Now, try 70 And this was one of the first ones. You don't get fancy retractable cup holders in this car. You don't get digital quad screens. What you do get is quite a lot of wind in your face and your hair. But I like that.
What this old midget and the new Cyberster do have in common is they don't take themselves too seriously.
This car wasn't about smashing lap records. It wasn't about generating loads of G-force in the corners. In fact, I'm pretty sure G-force hadn't been invented in the 60s. Instead, it was all about letting your hair down, having fun, and just enjoying the thrill of the road. Yes, you know what? That is a philosophy I can get on board with. This car's a bit before my time. It's well older than me, this particular one. And back in the day, I was never an MG person, but really thrilled that I've got an opportunity to drive a midget. It's a wonderful little car. This example is brilliant. It looks fantastic. The paintwork is spot on. The interior is absolutely gorgeous. And even though it isn't dripping with all the mod cons you'd expect from a brand new car, I tell you what, taking this for a drive on a Sunday, just gonna put a massive smile on your face, isn't it? What a treat. I tell you what, we haven't got loads of power, but because it's so light, it feels quick, nimble. Brakes are interesting, but they do work eventually. Oh yes, this is hilarious. The gearbox is only a 4-speed, but it's got a lovely action. The pedals are well spaced, you can heel and tow it. Steering wheel's so compact. It's direct though, it reacts to your inputs. And actually, it gets out of its own way. It shifts. Woo! Normal doors. How quaint. You know what? Seeing these two side by side, you really notice how big new cars are getting, don't you? I mean, the Cyberster isn't a big car by modern standards, but seeing it next to this old lad, it's massive. Do you know what it's like? It's like those viral videos where a mother tortoise has adopted a baby hippo. It's cute, but it's also like, dude, that is not your baby. The other thing is, back in the day, cars were cars. Very simple. Nowadays, there are a whole lot more.
For example, if you were out on a road trip and you had a whole chicken or a pizza that needed cooking, we've all been there, the old midget was useless. But the Cyberster has vehicle to load, and that means you can use it to run any 240-volt household appliance. Just plug the adapter into the charge port, plug the other end into your appliance, and bosh. And yes, that appliance can even be an air fryer.
That looks banging. OMG. Okay, let's talk money. It is 2025 right now, and generally in these times, car prices are not a pleasant surprise. And the Cyberster, well, it's not cheap, but it's not massively expensive either.
The entry-level trophy model starts at 55 grand, while this range-topping GT is just under 60 grand. And that's all in. The only cost option on this car is the paint. Everything else comes as standard.
60 grand for sports car looks, sports car performance, supercar doors. In a world full of 40 grand Astras, I can live with that, trust me. This is the rarest of commodities. This is a car that looks more expensive than it actually is.
Of course, there is the issue of badge snobbery. MG has its work cut out against cars from so-called cooler rivals, but take the badges away, and I think the MG Cyberster probably passes the vibe check, even with proper petrol heads, many of whom might not even know who builds the thing.
So I love your M4, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Very cool car, especially the headlights.
My baby.
What do you reckon it is?
I think first instance, people are going to assume Ferrari.
Okay.
By straight looking at it, but I don't think so.
It does look Ferrari.
It's giving Ferrari vibes.
It is giving Ferrari. What would it cost to buy a car that looks like this, hold up, with doors like this?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
With 500 horsepower plus?
This feels like a trap. I would say between like 55 and 75.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I'd say it's sitting comfortably within that.
Okay, okay.
It's so hard to tell. You've covered all the best bits for me to try and figure it out.
I'll give you the answer. It's an MG.
An MG?
It's an MG.
No way. What? How much is it?
It's like 60 plus.
Okay.
65.
Okay.
Yeah?
500 brake.
Yeah, 500 brake.
That's impressive.
You like it?
Stock, yeah, it's actually pretty. Can I have a look?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Would you swap your M4 for it?
No. No. Instant no. Never. That's got my heart. I'm very much into M cars over this sort of style car.
This isn't an M car, it's an MG.
This.
It's a reach, it's a reach.
I mean, it's looking like a slightly higher class bracket person's car. You know,
Yeah.
I'm giving. Is this your car?
No, it's not my car.
Okay, I'm not
testing it.
offending. Okay.
Thank you very much for thinking I'm high class though.
No, you
I'll take that.
you seem it. You dress well.
Thank you very much.
This has quite a strong running to set a new stereotype
Yeah.
of acceptable electric cars.
Yeah, yeah. It's stylish, it's fun,
Yeah.
it's fast.
This is much
It's kinda
nicer than
cool.
a Tesla. Sorry, Tesla.
No, that is the key. That is one of the key questions I'm trying to find out. Like, because the Tesla Roadster was meant to come out a while ago.
It was supposed to be,
and it got
okay,
delayed and delayed
right.
and delayed and delayed. And MG just went bang. Have some
Here
of
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
Well, they've taken the market space, haven't they? This is nice.
Cool.
I mean,
rate it out of 10 for me.
I would say it's an 8.
Okay.
8.5. Yeah, it's a very, very nice.
Can I show you something that's going to ruin your opinion of this car?
Go on, go
Come around
on.
here. Look at these rear lights. The arrows.
Oh, okay.
Are
I
you
like
feeling-
that.
are you feeling that?
I like that because it's different.
Okay, all right.
It's different. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough. I was bashing it earlier. That was the one bit of this car that I didn't like.
No, it's different. It's going to divide the crowd again. I quite like it.
I'm going to review your car for you now. I'm going to take while my MG charges. Have you got an exhaust on it?
Yeah. Let me show you.
Let's hear it. All right, give us some. That is sick. All right, I think on that note, there is only one question I have to ask you, and that is, do you want to swap?
No. Sorry. This is my child.
You heard it here first. Gap Girl M4 does not want to
Gap Girl
swap
M4.
into an MG Cyberster. I am genuinely impressed with the MG Cyberster. It is, bottom line, massive fun to drive. It's also fun to look at. It's got that kind of happy demeanor about it that makes you smile, whether you're standing next to it or you're inside it, giving it some. It's a genuinely brilliant car, and it proves that EVs can be desirable. That's the thing, isn't it? It's not just a car, it's an object of desire. You look at it and you want it. And you know the best thing of all? The MG Cyberster is a 2-seater, drop-top electric sports car that actually exists. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is fire.